Hello, everybody. My name is Sunset, and welcome to the third episode of the Cutting Edge Podcast. Today we have TheDiamondSadness1 with us today. How you doing, Diamond?
I'm fine.
First time?
I only just now took a shower, so I guess I'm feeling fine. Clean.
Yeah, now, folks, the original episode of this podcast was supposed to take place 2 weeks ago, but I got sidetracked, so that was sort of a bummer. But yeah, we have a whole line of questions. Gonna have a few good topics here and there. And the first one we have is, what do you think about, or how do you feel about the current state of Black Magic 2?
It's shit. Quite frankly, it's garbage. Because, well, first of all, the most of it isn't even BM2's fault. Like the desync, some things that Buckle has talked to me about, like some of the people in. I'm not going to mention the Discord server, but it has happened a lot. The sheer amount of magnets, the sheer amount of pulling, it's stupid, and I hate it. And the fact that not Discord, Roblox doesn't use what was it again? What was it called? Doesn't use rollback instead of, well, delay based. But of course that can't be changed easily. Uh that's outside of BM problems, but of course inside BM problems there are the I feel like the tier list isn't even I can how do I put this?
It's all over the place,
It's
basically.
all over the place. There's like two god tier classes, and then all the other classes are just complete garbage tier.
And people keep arguing which classes are the worst, even though I would
Worst as in
argue I
hardest
would
to play
argue
against?
that I would argue, in my personal opinion, that Assailant has the least tools out of all the classes because it doesn't
Huh.
have range, it doesn't have zoning, it doesn't have a lot of super armor on its moves. So in terms in comparison to all the other classes that can do better stuff that Assailant can do, it's in that regard it looks a bit underpowered.
For me, the tier list really goes just. Hold on, I think I have posted it before to someone else. From worst to best order, it's. I think its last was Virtue, simply because it's a really hard skill learning curve. Like, sure, and also the sprint nerf did really affect it hard for its zoning playstyle. Revenant is second, not second worst because, well, I get it is very strong. Don't get me wrong, but first of all, its best scaling is kind of locked behind. You have to get a really hard read or a really good punish, and it's just kind of slow during that. Not to mention that SP1 and SP2 must be recharged, and in my opinion, at least, those are its best tools. Not to mention its guard break doesn't have super armor break. Osama, please fix that. As for fourth and third, I can't really decide between Avalon and Citadel. Avalon is a lot more balanced, I guess, simply because, it can both zone, which is annoying, cough, cough, jolly old sport, and, well, it can also rush down, putting a lot of pressure on the opponent. But Citadel has a lot more HP. It's a lot, like, when it sets up, when it mixes you up really hard, it's nearly impossible to escape unless you have, I don't know, Karai SP2 lol. Surprisingly against you, I'd say that Assailant is, like, second best class, because it like sure it doesn't really have as many of the strengths that the other classes do, but I really think that its ability to punish some of the more proactive approaches that its opponents must take alongside some its well-roundedness in general. I do think it is a
Well, the
second best.
way the way I put it is that you have Avalon's SP4, for example, which obviously can be placed anywhere on the map and is used for a bunch of setups. And if you're assailant trying to rush in while also avoiding SP1 and trying to do SP4 every time you side dodge out of it, and like say assailant's pressuring Avalon's shield while the fighting closes in, Avalon side dashes, and he either catches another LAC, SP1, or something else like a launcher. SP4 is going to hit in those situations, and for many times in a lot of the games I've played, that is a viable strategy.
Yeah, but for
So
me,
so for that reason alone, on top of the doppel skills that can get rid of shield and the counter skill from SP. Was it SP5 or SP6 for Avalon, which is a
uh,
a five? All right. And
you
the
mean
sole
like
reason and also sole reason for that counter existing, which also eliminates a lot of pressure. I would say that Avalon is just a big counterplay, and another reason why Assailant is not high on the tier list at all.
At least in your opinion.
Yeah.
Uh, hold on. I think I may have gotten the count wrong. Like, which class were you referring to, Avalon or Assailant?
Avalon.
Oh, you mean the counter to projectiles, right? Or
Oh no, Avalon. No, Avalon doesn't have a counter to projectiles. I meant the counter which Oralwin kicks away.
oh yeah, that's SP5. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
The main reason, but I think the key word there is just a big counterplay, which does imply one class being better over the other in a matchup. But for me, I think that Assailant's well-roundedness does give it better matchups overall against the rest of the cast, while it just has really bad matchups against like Avalon and maybe Kurai.
Yeah, and the only
At least
people
in my
and the only people who complain about it are the ones who don't know neutral and who don't know how to deal with it properly. That's the only complaints you hear about the class is that people being bad.
yeah, get good and then you can beat Avalon. Uh,
Yeah, but that's but that
yeah,
but,
I
yeah,
think
but
you
that's
can.
but that's kind of the thing. Lots of the stuff that people are complaining about are being used by classes that see a lot more play, and I think that was the reason why just trying to get Diamond with Assailant took so long.
Yeah, because they've I don't know how to say it. It might be because those classes are just plain overpowered, or just they're frustrating in general. And most of the complaints, once again, come from people who can't play against that class well.
Yeah, and from my experience of 1 year, and by the way, for the people watching, 1 year anniversary on my channel for Black Magic 2 content.
Stop
Started.
vlogging.
Yep,
Vlogging.
started. Yep, started April last week, a year ago, and from all my experience, from all the changes that happened, I still find it that you're going to have the most difficult time, in my opinion, playing a sail in this game. Uh, not against the Dittos, but practically against any other class because it is a
Yeah.
chore to get in against people of good neutral. Like for Citadel, like Straterium for example, one of the best cities in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Continue.
And or against classes like Virtue, which has a lot of sprint speed and it recharges very quickly along with SP1 that can recharge its moves. It's a real hassle when you have people that know what they're doing
Cough,
because
cough. Looks
because
like
what
Paul's mad.
because the reason why people turn away from Virtue is because of its of
Learning
its
curve.
of its complexity. Yeah, it's the hardest class to learn.
People will disagree with that by saying that Citadel is. Well, at least the mechanics are kind of hardest to learn for
You
Virtue.
need to have that rhythm game finger speed in order to do like all the Virtue
All right,
combos.
dude, that's stupid. That or just have massive keystroke
At
and
least
the
at least with at least with Citadel, you can know how the combo works. Its roots are very similar to how Assailant works. You have launcher, you have LAC, and you have to do some specials here and there.
and your crystals.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
you, you either do ZZ you do ZZZ into the crystal and then go for SP4 and then X and then launcher and then you go for the ZZZ again. Like that's a simple combo route. What Virtue does differently is that on top of doing the regular element that goes for a hit, you have to know and you
speak
have
black.
to come again.
You have to not only let's say you start with water SP2. If you wanted to press one and do another water SP2 again, you have to press your X button, your heavy auto combo button again, just to reselect the element, and then you have to quickly press two. There are
Yeah, exactly.
like after
And if you want
after
to
one.
combo into something like the Fire SP3 orbs, you also have to have the sense of mind to switch over to the element and then press it again to select it.
Yeah, it requires a lot more inputs than something like Karai. Like, let's say you start off with Launcher with Karai. You can just do launcher, followed up by an SP1, which is pretty optimal, at least in my opinion. That's one input for a simple link. But for Virtue, let's say water SP2, water SP1, water SP2, right? You have to water SP2, then you have to press SP1, reselect your element, and press 2. That's 3 inputs just for a simple 2-hit combo. Compared to, like, Karai's own simple 2-hit combo, right?
But the trade-off there is that you're not close to the opponent. You're not in danger of getting hit by something on wake up.
Yeah.
And one of
Yeah,
the
but
and one of our own competitors for the cutting edge series, a mystery kid. I'd argue that he does that. He's the best virtue player in this server.
in cutting edge tournament, right?
Yeah,
Not in the world.
abroad, I'd say someone like Kerzu, or if you know any other really good virtue mains.
Dobella, Marcimav, Mazimir.
Oh,
People in the
I played against Marcy before.
yeah. People are gonna argue about who's the best virtued in the comments. I know that.
They're gonna have tons of arguments.
You know, right?
And speaking about that, let's discuss Hurai.
uh, so what do you want to discuss about Kurai?
What is there to discuss that has been discussed already on this podcast series?
Cough, cough, magnets, cough, cough, insane speed, cough up, cough up, cough, cough, massive magnets, cough, cough, takes advantage of desync.
Okay, well, one of my one, but I understand that, but the one thing that does still irritate me to this day are the JAC extensions in combos. Like
Because they're not infinite.
I don't know what kind of crazy bastard figured that out, but it's made it so that there's a lot of reward for little risk of just doing LAC or just doing HAC into a combo. Because now, if you can just hit someone off of JAC and then you go for the extension, you're getting a lot more than basically any other class can get off of an aerial.
Like, sure, assailant you could get an SP3 and recover some health,
But that's
but
going to
go
be
on with
that's going to do about what 145 damage off of one hit from an aerial.
yeah.
While
And
while
for
the best
Kurai,
I've seen from Kurai is around 320 damage from one aerial.
I think that was either when SB6 had true damage or when JC had
Oh no, that
the same scale
no,
as LAC.
that's still what it can do for damage today.
Huh. That might be a glitch in the combo meter, but I'm not sure. Like that's optimal, and even then, even if you don't get like the complete optimal punish or not punish combo from JSC, you can get like several things. Neutral advantage with your SP5, stocks, more damage in your SP8 later on in a more like a launcher starter combo, right? Like you get a
And
lot of reward for
I
so little
yeah,
risk,
and
and
I think that's the reason why Oni was so dominant in our final Survivor event.
maybe I would have been
It,
just kidding. I
if you
didn't
even
join it.
entered in the first place, huh?
I don't really like those type of gauntlet styles that are not my
He
thing.
got 20. If you saw the Hall of Fame, he got 27 kills.
27. How many entrants entered again?
It was it was a full serve including me, so there were only 7 entrants.
So 7 entrants. 27 kills. That doesn't add up. That doesn't even add up.
Oh no, he
Because
just
assuming he's
on his first life he got 20 kills in a row.
so so if I'm following math here, you did say like 3 lives as the thingy, right?
Yeah, Oni was the target. Yes, Oni was the target, and but the opponents don't have 3 lives. You only have 3 lives as the target.
All right. So he got 27 kills all across his 3 lives.
Yes.
He's a massive Chad apparently.
And if you were watching the live stream, we had to because he got 20 kills in which everyone had only about 3 to 5, 6 kills. we just decided to ban Kurai just midway through because that was alone that was proof enough that something needed to be done about that.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And
Had no
nobody could
right to
touch him.
exist.
Nobody got close. Not even
And those were
certified.
all like,
Certified a runner up only got 17 kills. I'm pretty sure, or 12
no,
kills.
he got 10 more.
Nobody
That's a
even
fact.
got nobody even got close to what he got in his first life, which was 20 kills.
Huh.
Yeah,
Which is crazy, which is
another good Kurai main that was featured in one of my videos was Killers with Z. Have you ever
I've
fought him
actually
before?
beaten him.
Huh?
I fought him twice. He beat me 2-1 first time, and then I think I beat him like once or twice next time. So yeah, I have fought him.
I can't think of any other. Uh, apart from the
John Crow, draw kill, Kuraseth.
does Kursath even play this goddamn game anymore?
I don't think he does, but when he did, he was a goddamn. He was a nuisance, dude.
I remember. I
The whole
remember. I think I remember when Foxy got mastered.
Yeah, I think he was the second. He was the second Master Kurai to get He was the second Kurai to get
And
Master
I don't. I don't
because
know. I don't know. I don't know. Hold up, but what happened when that whole fiasco with John Crow back in like from 2 months ago?
what do you mean? Like the
Like someone whooped his ass and he got all defensive about it.
I don't know. It seemed that bad. Bucklow did say he is pretty close to John Crow that sometimes when he does get completely and utterly destroyed, he does start getting mad or starts to try harder, right?
Yeah.
Which I
Kind of
completely agree.
kind of like you do. Yeah.
Yeah, cough cough.
Just Sam King, our Lord and
Fuck
Savior.
yourself. Yeah, yeah. Are you referencing the cryo tournament? Because I swear you are.
No. I was no. I think I am where he just did this.
The SBA.
You have to admit, even though you did it, and you have to admit that was boss. He had
That
the
was cool, yeah.
for that one win. He had the drip.
He had the drip. For that one match, he had the drip, and then I took it back.
2 times the drip.
2 times the drip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just for Revenant, I mean, there's no question that Bacalo is probably one of the. He like at that point in time when he won the third cutting edge tournament, I believe he was the best Revenant player in the world.
He definitely was,
Even
because
compared to those,
Blackberry is already...
even compared to those crazy ass European players. Have you seen what they can do over there?
No, obviously not. I don't.
Forchester got a 593 assailant combo.
Worcester,
I didn't even know that was possible.
somehow. Yeah, those players are pretty good, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, but the fact that he did avenge his loss to Quietberry and Quietberry has been beaten by a couple more people. And then back then when he won the second cutting edge tournament, I still agree that Baco is probably one of if not the best BN2 player currently. Or he.
He
When was the
was.
last time? I think when was the last time he played?
I don't know, I think, like, in what? Just in general?
Yeah, just in general, because he said he was taking a break after he won the third cutting edge tournament, I believe.
He did take a look. I think he may meant have taken a break from, like, the more tournament, more competitive side of things. Because he does still
Yeah,
play occasionally.
I've seen him play casual before, and yeah.
He's still a fucking god there. He's beaten my ass like several times.
Yeah, the only I
Yeah,
didn't
like even now.
yeah I don't think I can I don't think I can I think I can beat his Revenant once or twice, but that's about it.
Yeah,
He's
the
in a
only times
complete he's in a completely different league.
he's in a completely different league from a lot of No, hell, not even just Revenant, just a lot of different players. Like, I
Yeah.
swear, he takes on some of the best players in the world, like Masterings, just pretty casually, in my opinion. At least it seems that way. Probably is trying harder, but dear God, he still completely obliterates people.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, especially and it was nice from the fourth cutting edge tournament to see just our just Royal Blood tournament alumni, you and Mr. Mans just fighting.
What does alumni mean? I don't remember what that. I don't even know what that means.
It means just it's basically just a record for that history, like high school alumni, like the class of 2020 or 2019.
Yeah, that makes sense. Rip the class of 2020.
You make it sound like
Rip.
everyone in 2020 died.
Anyways, yeah. I do think that did give me PTSD to my winners finals with Budodi and the fourth RBT. They both reverse sweeped me.
You did win that
I'm
crown
not.
tournament though. Spirits up, champ.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like that was actually that worth it. It didn't feel that good, honestly. It didn't feel like I am. I guess it didn't feel like I had to, push beyond my limits like an anime protagonist, which I am not.
I remember when a good moment from that tournament was when JTP pulled out the black Goku skin.
I know, right?
That was and he won. He won that one too. That was the most hype shit ever.
The one thing I wanted to do is just. I'm gonna sound like an anime villain for saying this, but I wanted to face him off, push him to Black Goku, Black Goku, I guess, and just
No,
beat the shit
Goku
out of
Black,
him
but
afterwards.
Goku Black isn't black though.
Unfortunately, we were thinking Black Goku, but instead we got Nega Goku,
Drip
Dark Goku,
Goku.
Ukog. How has this went from a discussion about the game BM2 to just
Oh,
reminiscing on tournament times?
it's relatable to the game, you know.
I know, right? Somehow on Swordsman channel, only Swordsman manages to pull that
And
off.
speaking of tournaments, do you have any? Funny or interesting memories from when you were competing in RBT?
Or just in general. I think
Just from RBT.
I think during the 4th RBT, which is where I really was the actually important lol.
Isn't that the
I think
one
it
where
was,
you fought against Xenovalve?
yeah, yeah, that was the one, and also Bidodi. As I was saying, it was really like during my first match in winners. So I think it was So there were two commentators, Torcless and Rare We. Uh, it was a joke that he liked bacon, apparently. And then I think after the match with Bakun, which was my opponent, I either before or after, or maybe even during the prelims, I sent Rarewee a bacon gift, and 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 then all hell broke loose with Turtles finishing off with Diamond is Roof is Merciless. I think that was the best memory, the best funniest memory.
I remember I my funniest moment from when I watched the fifth RBT live was when you remember Airhead, right?
Obviously. Oh no!
Two,
Oh no!
200
Oh,
the 200 ping Canadian warrior.
same country as me, different province.
I
So yeah.
remember the words that Kusakage said that said that day. He said he was like, so apparently we suck at background checks because Airhead is not from North America.
Canada is in North America. What do you mean?
And everybody in chat and everybody in the chat room flipped their lid about it. But
Everyone just said,
even though
"Oh,
Airhead,
okay."
even though it wasn't that much of a big deal because Airhead stayed in the tournament anyway. Like,
It somehow
still,
turned
what
into a
the
big
hell,
deal.
man?
Yeah, that was stupid. That was really stupid. So apparently Kusakabe? Kusakage is a massive dumbass. Always has been. And also a sister beater, but we're not allowed to talk about that on YouTube.
You just did.
Too bad. We're gonna have to edit that out.
No, no, I'm keeping it in.
That's
Shame, shame, shame,
I
shame.
really- I took away the monetization from you. You do realize that affects you more than me, right?
I'm not. I don't not even monetize yet.
Too bad. You will be. And then they find this video.
Oh, they won't. I'm sure they won't demonetize me for something like that.
Yeah, totally, totally. Meanwhile, in the background, my family is deciding to be crazy.
So on to the next topic, which is going to be a discussion of other fighting games in Roblox or any inspiration for fighting game ideas.
Yeah, go ahead.
So have you branched out to other unique fighting games in Roblox? Like something like Cyber or the new Cataclysmic Clash 2D fighter.
I haven't really tried out the new Cataclysmic Clash 2D fighter since it doesn't although I can do the quarter circle motions, those standard, Dragon Punch quarter circle those motions, right?
Yeah.
I I just can't do them apparently, even though I do them consistently on DB at least the quarter circle motions I do consistently on DBFZ, right? For example. I do think that the 2D fighter has a lot of potential, but it just needs to have the polish needs to be upped, like how you can input your buttons, like all that stuff, right? It has to be polished well.
And let's not forget it's in pre-alpha.
Not to mention, we also need move lists. Give it to us, please. We need it. Like even on in the Cataclysmic Clash Discord, which I am in, there's no move list, like no a command list for the 2D fighter that I could find.
You know what? How about we collaborate a little bit and we can make like just like an image you can copy and paste anywhere about the move list for the fighter after this. How about that?
I don't think I can. I can't even. I'm trying all the motions I would expect that would be to be done.
When I played with Budodi after we did the second episode of the podcast, he somehow did every move perfectly.
Bruh, he's hacking. That's weird because I can consistently do quarter circle back, quarter circle forward, like all that stuff, right? Like that stuff you would expect, like from a fighting game, right?
I'm a Street Fighter 4 junkie.
I wonder why.
You recognize a lot of the tracks in my videos, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I wonder why. Uh, yeah, basically it just needs to be polished up in how, if you can command the moves, like, with some amount of leniency. Actually, more just if you can command the moves, because I can do them, but it's just really inconsistent, right? They just have to make the commanding either more lenient, if that's a problem, or just make it, well, more consistent, right?
I don't know how they could do that in Lua, but good on them for thinking about it.
Lua is cringe. Just like Roblox is.
But I mean, I guess that if Roblox takes away Lua, what are they going to replace it with?
Python, JavaScript. Hell, C#, I believe that was the name, but
Because there was even some talk about. I think it was one Discord server that I'm in. I forget which one I was in where I had this conversation with someone. Was that if the desync becomes such a big problem that it's going to drive away new players or halt a lot of the progress on the game, And there's a lot of talk from switching over to just making it a standalone title.
Yeah, like maybe with using GGPO. I think that was the name of it, right?
And,
Like
they, and
GGPO.
again, it does. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's on Roblox. They've made a. I mean, they made a good enough product that I'll still play it.
Yeah, it's just that Roblox is a piece of shit. Apparently, that's the case. That seems to be the case.
No, it's just that Roblox isn't built for a fighting game like Black Magic 2.
It's a lot more built for a more casual game. It's not meant for more competitive games. Like I'm gonna branch out from fighting games here, so be warned. It's not made for something like Black Magic.
Doesn't include Phantom Forces.
Of course it does, dumbass. Then again, though, the problems on Roblox with Phantom Forces, not the hit reg, but like the desync, just applies to all games. Cough, cough, Peeker's Advantage, lol. You can't apply rollback to a FPS game, it seems. Not yet. But I do think the games that would most benefit from it are like really fast-paced, really high-risk games, right? Like Black Magic.
And I am positive that in the future that they're going to improve the netcode at some point. Because the more the big because the bigger there's because the bigger the bigger the games are, the more people that are coming in, and it's eventually going to get to a point where there's going to be so many people playing online concurrently that they're probably going to be forced to upgrade the netcode one way or another.
Yeah, definitely. That or just upgrade their servers. Their servers dead.
But the good thing is, most of the time, as long as the two players are in a server that are mildly close to each other, the worst you can get is about 190 ping, which is fine. It's not going to be any game-winning handy panty over something.
Game-winning bullshit. Yeah.
That's what I tried not to say, but okay, good for you.
Too bad I'm demonetizing your channel when you get monetized. Yo, bullying swordsman on his own podcast.
There goes my kids mode revenue.
I did laugh out loud, and I swear my mic picked up like none of it.
Nope, it did not.
Good. They don't need to know that I keep the. Anyways, yeah. Eventually, people might Roblox, or just people will either branch out to better netcode or just make their own games, right? At least for the developers, they might just branch out and just make it a standalone title instead of making it on Roblox, which would be a good idea. Yeah. Or Roblox has to update their netcode.
And speaking of standalone titles, you were talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ, right?
Yeah.
Well, playing on a Nintendo Switch controller is hell.
Pain in the butt.
Yes, it is playing without because one of my favorite video game fighting ports of all time is Super Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS, and the reason it works so well on the 3DS is that the analog stick is actually very, very responsive and has fluid motions you'd imagine on just like a regular fighting stick for the Xbox or the PS4. Like it can, you can. But with the Nintendo Switch, if you know what the Nintendo Switch controller looks like, it's like it feels like there's always just a room for error on some of the motions.
Yeah.
Because because when you try to turn something, it feels like you have to do a bigger turn because the analog sticks are smaller.
Yeah, definitely.
So it feels like you have to either put more or less work into it, and sometimes it gets you because the fighting games I played are because some of the other ones was Killer Instinct on the Xbox One, and that game it makes sense because the analog sticks are just regular size. And even though I don't own a fight stick, I still found that I was able to play Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS and Killer Instinct on the Xbox One just as fine. But me trying to play Dragon Ball Fighter Z and trying to do the motions while I'm in an actual fight, it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me.
Dude.
And I have the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on the Switch too. And without
Does it work there?
okay, well, apart from the games like Street Fighter Alpha series, which the inputs are ridiculously tight. Like the
And also
inputs,
maybe Street Fighter that doesn't exist.
huh?
Street Fighter 1 doesn't exist on the Switch, which is good because it was strictly
Uh,
shit. Crap, not again.
it does exist.
Oh damn.
It's actually on the collection.
Really? Oh my god, why do you gotta flex on me, man?
This is fact.
Why you gotta flex?
This is fact. Diamond.
Yes, good. I'm the piss baby now.
So yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I can get it. Like, on the Nintendo Switch, DBFC is very hard. Sometimes it can
So-
be very strict, or just really
So,
bullshit.
and also people are saying that this is probably going to be the final DLC for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, since the game is going to be, about 5 years old next year?
It's good, but there are a lot of problems. Cough, cough, UI Goku. Well, not as much as a problem now, but well, more like Kid Buu. He's a problem.
And people are saying that even though the game's still going to be supported, they aren't expecting. From remembering what I've read, I don't think they're expecting any more DLC characters after the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Which is good. We don't need another UI Goku. We really don't.
And now people are looking towards their new fighting game that Arc System Works is making, which is DNF Duel.
DNF Duel? What the hell is that?
They released a trailer for it last year, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
But it's a new thing being made by Arc System.
Yeah, the things that the company that made P4 Arena. I don't know. Blaze Blue. I think also
Who made Persona 5 Strikers Arena?
I don't think that actually exists. It's just Persona 5 Strikers. That was from Atlas. I don't know, man.
I haven't seen any footage of it. Is it just like P4 Arena?
Probably, maybe. Who knows? I don't, because I'm not part of Atlas or any other company. I'm just your average high school student. Which people will disagree with, but...
And I say that a lot of the recognition that Arc System Works has with its fans is that their animators have a really unique art style when it comes to the games they play,
Sprites?
because they make it look like traditional like modern Japanese animations from anime, but they make it so that they use cell shading techniques, and they make it so that it doesn't look like it's a 3D model, but they're able to, but they're able to shape it so that it does look like it.
Yeah. Looks like Guilty Gear and DBFZ. I think those are like the two main series that really showed off their ability to do 3D models, but, still look like 2D anime, right?
Basically.
Yeah. It's all about those slight imperfections.
I think it was also Grand Blue Fantasy that did that.
Oh yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, yeah, definitely. I think it was also that.
Yeah, the one thing that was basically Weeb Soul Calibur that I kind of forget about sometimes.
Weep Soul Calibur, that's nice.
It is, though, don't you lie, it is.
It isn't.
It is.
Okay. So yeah, that's yeah.
Next topic we have lined up is The how about the talk about looter shooters for a second? Like that new game Outriders, because I feel like Roblox doesn't have like a dedicated looter shooter.
Huh.
I,
Send me the link
we
and
have
I'll
games like Rise of the Dead, which has tried to do that, like from boss drops and chests and stuff, and introducing level systems, but we don't have a dedicated something dedicated like Destiny or Borderlands in Roblox yet.
So you were saying the name was Outrider, right? Or I'd assume
Out
that was.
it's Outriders.
Outriders, okay, hold on, let me check it out.
I don't know if it's a looter. I don't know if it is a looter shooter actually, but it's that new game that came out.
Oh, I searched up the person Outriders, not the game Outriders. I can't find it, and I don't know why.
Outback
Oh,
Steakhouse.
heard it?
Nothing.
Mm. Uh, just send me like a quick screenshot or the link. I'll check it out. Why did I have Steam open? I casually hear Swordsman using his keyboard. Nice. That's Pog.
But I feel like there's a lot of but I feel like there are some examples that because you have games like Swordburst 2,
I I
which
I used to play that, but I don't anymore. It's not my thing. Too grindy.
yeah, and that's kind of the problem with a lot of Roblox games these days. Apart from stuff like World Zero, but
Yeah, because
but
that
there
combat is
isn't
actually
but there isn't like a thing where loot drops on the ground and you can pick it up and such.
Oh, so not like the old magma cube boss on Skyblock. Basically, there was only one weapon you could get up, and whoever picked it up first was the one who picked it up. So something like that, right?
Basically. Or Borderlands loot system where if an enemy or a boss drops loot, it can be on the floor and you can you can easily distinguish it by its color or its name.
Huh. Weird. Though I don't think I have any right to complain about the RNG on like Swordburst 2 or just in general the sheer amount of grinding you have to do because I play Skyblock on high pixel.
But the reason my Swordburst 2 has grinding is because and this is my opinion for most of those games. The reason why they do that is because they have no campaign or story to follow.
Yeah,
And the reason why looter shooters these days are getting less grindy, or the reason why the first Borderlands was so addictive back in 2009, is
yeah,
because it added story alongside the gameplay.
like
Because
alongside
you
the
had to
loot
do,
drop.
because even though you had to do a few side quests here and there, the story was good enough that, or it was written in such a way that it didn't really matter
Yeah,
because
got
the
it.
gameplay the gameplay was also fun as well.
Yeah,
And I feel like a lot of Roblox games that have that complex either do it poorly or they don't, or they have it wildly imbalanced in some areas.
yeah, got it.
Like for Swordburst 2, you have a lot of grinding and there's a lot of areas and options and bosses, but the gameplay is really meh and there's no story.
Yeah, it's literally just garbage. Apparently,
And
not garbage, but there's no story. Yeah,
and then you have games like Rise. I'm not going to bring Rise of the Dead. There's nothing really to compare that to yet. What other kind of grindy RPG game?
Skyblock on Hypixel on Skyblock. Skyblock on Hypixel, sorry. I actually have the jurisdiction to talk about that because I
And
play
then
it.
and then when we go into a weird sort of post-apocalyptic area is with Rogue Lineage.
Oh my god, do
And
not
that
mention.
game is basically the wild wild west of Roblox games.
It's literally no one gives a crap about
Kill,
honor.
yeah, it's basically just living out your life as a mouse in the goddamn forest.
Yep. You either
And
grow to be
somehow
the best.
and somehow and the reason why people are so gets get so pissed off about it, or the reason why a lot of players left is because, well,
It's Chernobyl.
the people who were there first, or already know things and are trying another account, which you could argue is smurfing, which it is, but we're not going to say it.
Smurfing is a big issue, which we can't fix.
And that turns a lot of new players away from it. And another reason they complained is that there was no single player campaign.
Hmm. For
And
coincidence? I
in
think
my
not.
opinion, and in my personal opinion, having a game like that where having to go through trial and error is flawed
Repeatedly?
is just flawed. Like, you're gonna push away so many new players from that. And even though
Yeah.
it is a very and even though the design itself and the idea is very creative, it should not be put in front of the face of some it's just putting a multiplayer aspect like in Fallout 76 where anyone can attack anyone.
Yeah. Which
Except
can
in
be
Rogue
annoying as.
Lineage, the maps are a lot smaller, and there are not some areas where people cannot be killed. So you could just be minding your own business, trying to buy a sword, just a regular sword, not having any magic or anything, and some dude with tentacles for arms and like 6 black orbs falling around them just whoops you in one shot. And you're like, what
Yeah.
the hell
And
is
then you
this?
lose all your and then you lose all your progress. All of it. Like, that's not an enjoyable experience unless you're a
And
master.
another thing is the life system, which sure you can lose all your items, but if you lose a life, all your magic stuff is still there.
That
And
sounds stupid.
but you only lose all
That
your
sounds.
progress if you lose those 3 lives. But the implementation of a life system in permadeath is it's just really out there. Like, it's a
Makes
specific game made for specific people.
a hardcore game for made for masochists. Or just tryhards, but yeah, I get it. Continue.
It, okay. How about next topic?
Yeah, because we've been on that the first topic for like how long? I think
We
like 40 minutes at
we
this
we,
point.
we, we already switched it twice, Diamond.
Nice.
The next topic is if discussion of Roblox on other consoles. If you've played it on other consoles,
No. Actually, yes, on mobile, kind of. No,
Roblox
I
on
actually haven't.
Roblox on mobile only works because specific games are only going to work on specific hardware. If you have like the newest iPhone with all the like tricked out specs and stuff, running Lumion Legacy on its mobile version runs like a charm.
If you're using like I don't know,
But on my
some
shitty,
old Android,
but on my goddamn phone from 2015, when it tries to run
it'll
Lumion
barely
Legacy,
run.
when it tries to run Lumion Legacy, it stutters. It tries to start up and then just goes.
Just kills your phone.
Yep, but the app crashes and whatnot.
Oh,
But like,
yeah.
if you go to like a regular game like natural disaster survival and whatnot, it runs fine. You can play those types of games.
Definitely, definitely. As for consoles in general, I do think that I'm going to bring up Phantom Forces. You're not, and you can't stop me. On Xbox and just PlayStation or whatever console you're using.
Yeah, it's the.
Hopefully not
I've never
Switch.
seen it run as poorly as it has on another console before, which is shocking. Considering the Xbox One
Which
is able to run things like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
which is much more visually intense than Phantom Forces, which is literally just Lego Battlefield 4. Literally just Lego Battlefield 4. How? How is how is a Roblox game? How does a Roblox game run worse than a AAA game
I think.
from a
I
well?
think. I remember Bakalo explaining it in our first podcast episode, but I forgot it.
I'm going to watch that. I'm just kidding. I couldn't be bothered to stay around for another hour.
Oh, okay, fine with you then,
I can just hear the bitterness with that.
meanie face.
Yes, suffer. Anyways, yeah.
And there was a lot of
Roblox.
and there was a lot of talk of having if Roblox was ever going to be ported to the Nintendo Switch.
I don't think it should. I really don't think it should.
Yeah, because Nintendo Switch's half of the Nintendo Switch's whole gimmick is that you can take it some places. But with the talk of, you know, they're going to add something more powerful, they're going to make it so that more powerful games can run on there, which would prolong its lifespan.
Which is good. Good.
Well, yeah,
Kind of,
because
I guess. You don't
like
have to spend.
like even from its release from 5 years ago, when Breath of the Wild was still new, I still
Which is
cannot
pretty good.
believe that this thing can run stuff like Borderlands 2 on it. Like
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
amazing.
That's a W. That's a W. That's a massive W for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people, yeah, but Roblox on there, like if you go anywhere, if you go someplace with Roblox, it's an online all the time game. So if they have a miracle, like they can somehow make it so that single player games you could just download it onto the like on your Nintendo Switch, you could play it from anywhere you want. That'd be fine, but that would have to go through all these hoops they have to jump through. So
Yeah,
what is it going? Who is it going to be for? you know?
exactly. Okay, I dropped something. Give me a few seconds. Give me. I dropped something. No, it's all over the floor. All right, I got it fixed. All right, I just had to get a paper towel and just wipe it. I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
What did you
Yeah,
drop?
continue. A sharpener.
You mean all the pencil shavings on the floor?
Yeah. I actually picked. It wasn't actually that much. I just picked it back up right now.
I did that one video of Slime Slickle where I think he dropped tacks all over his floor.
Oh my
So
god.
it just became a minefield.
Must be painful. Would be painful to step on a
Today,
cat.
today on Fear Factor.
That does sound like an actual show. Is it actually an actual
Yes,
show?
it's an actual show. It was an actual show that, and Joe Rogan hosted it. It was great.
Right. Why can't we have a Black Magic show, bruh? That's not fair.
Because we only have about 400 concurrent players a day.
Oh, that's stupid. How does Adopt Me get like 1 million players with its stupid pets, with its stupid stuff, and then competitive games like I don't know Arsenal or again Phantom Forces, Bad Business,
I
Black
mean,
Magic
I'd
show.
say I'd say I'd say the best Roblox game that has the best chances for animation will probably be World Zero because it actually
Yeah,
because it has a lot of original ideas. The settings are all beautiful to look at, and it has a lot of
and
characters such as the bosses and the NPCs that like it could work because there is a sense of story there.
yeah, Sure, there's not like I don't know, massive DBZ or Death Note plot. It still exists. It exists more than Swordburst 2's plot, which doesn't exist at all. Yeah, I can see it. There's actually a plot in World Zero compared to Swordburst. Both of them.
Well,
Legit.
I guess a lot of topics to talk about. Is there anything that you want to bring up in these in these final minutes?
Rip Jonas Neubauer.
Who?
You not know who that is?
Explain, please.
Seven-time Classic World, seven-time Classic Tetris World Champion, Tetris Ambassador, apparently 60-year-old man from Albacete, which is part of a meme. He was basically the best possible Tetris personality that there could be. So, yeah. He's gone, and that's sad.
Right
He
then.
died of a medical emergency, fortunately.
Well, condolences to
And yeah,
him. Yes, condolences to him and his family.
and also and also the community.
And I guess that's going to wrap up the Cutting Edge Podcast episode 3. Hope you all had an interesting time and have fun watching us, listening to us. And Diamond, anything you want to say before we sign off today?
I demonetize your channel in the future.
All right, that's good. All right then, goodbye everyone, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace
Well,
out.
you.